crafty people, this is Ellen with EGI Designs. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel and checking out my video. Today I'm going to make a fall themed birthday card, and so I pulled out a bunch of stuff that we could play with. I have this honeybee embossing folder, it's the burlap, paper tray ink, birthday your way, and then a few fall flower typesets. I have Elizabeth Craft Designs, which is the Florals 31, Simon Says Stamp Autumn Sunflower, Rustic Layering Flower, Daisy Heads, and the Spellbinder Sunflower Serenade. I might put some twine on that. I have the Studio Light Vintage Christmas. They're all different, like natural toned ribbons and jute and things like that. I'm going to use my card base is the Nina Desert Storm. I'm going to be using the Recollections White Dove for a couple of panels on that. And then I'm going to do an interesting thing. I don't do this very often. I have this Elizabeth Craft Designs Autumn Harvest paper, and I'm going to be using it to cut out the flowers. So I'm not actually sure if I've ever made a die cut flower out of patterned paper before. So we're going to give that a shot. Hopefully this will be an easy and quick card for you to replicate. Let me get some things cut out and I'll be right back. Alright, I got a bunch of stuff cut out. And I put a couple of these autumn sunflowers together. They are just so beautiful. Let's see. I just want to show you the some of the papers that I used. They're great fall colors. Here's some extras. And there are other pattern papers in there. I just decided to use the more neutral looking ones, but there's some cute florals in there. There's a great plaid, and I did cut out some plaid leaves, so I thought we'd see how that went. Here, I'll show you. I thought they were pretty cute. So what we can do, I mean, anytime that you have die cuts and you just kind of want to make them pop a little bit, is just add a little color around the edges. So we have some leaves that we had cut out. I thought we could just add a little bit of shading to that. And this is a trio. This is from Simon Says Stamp, and it's cabbage, artichoke, and kale. So we'll just see how this goes. And it just adds a little depth to it without too much work. So I don't know if you can see this. So this is the one that we inked, and it looks a lot less flat. So I'm just going to ink around the edges of all of these, and I'll speed it up so it's a little faster for you. Okay, and then we can go in with a little bit of a darker color and see how that spruces things up a bit. So it gives them just a little bit more life and spark. It's an easy way to just give a little depth to your die cuts. Otherwise they kind of look a little flat. And since I'm going back to a lighter color, I'm just rubbing off the brush on my paper towel. Alright, now we have all of our leaves done. Just give this a quick spray. So I have my waffle flower grip mat here. I'm just going to spray it with a little water. Just give it a quick wipe. Alright, so I was trying to figure out about adding possibly some kind of like that fall wine purpley kind of color, like these kind, like Cabernet or Sangria. This is very dark, so we have to be a little careful. I have my red brush, and I think I was using the same colors last time, but it's always good to check. Yeah, so check this out. So this is uninked, and that is inked. So it just gives it such a nice effect. Alright, let's get this wiped off and get started making. I don't think we'll need all the flowers that we cut today, but it's always better to have more than you need. And then you can make two. Okay. This one I found there's a very, there's a definite place where it lines up the best, and it's a little hard to find at first. But you just keep turning and then you get the right spot. thought that looked a little off. I think this one I'm just going to make a little one. All right. While those are setting up, we can get our card base cut and get going on this. Okay. So I have the Nina Desert Storm, and we're going to make an A2 card. So the card base is 5.5 by 8.5. And then we're going to score it at 4.25. This is my Spellbinders trimmer and score, and I love it because everything is all in one. And I can use this ledge right here to line up the edges. Use my bone folder to burnish that. Okay. Alright, where are those pieces that I had? Do you ever have those days that your stuff, when you're crafting, just walks away? It's kind of a cuckoo thing, but it really happens. Anyway, I found my papers. Let me just a little red ink on there. Okay, let's see. Alright, so the inside panel that I have will be 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And at the end we can decorate that. And then on the front, I kind of wanted to do a thing where it was all the way to the side. So, and I've never tried that before. So I thought we could give it a shot. And I was thinking about putting the ribbon around. But I need to kind of get a placement of what we're doing with our flowers here. Because we don't need this many, that's for sure. Gonna floof these up a little bit. Maybe something like that. Oh my gosh, those plaid leaves are so fun like that. Ah. Alright, we can do something like that, and then we can put the happy birthday over here. So first I'm going to put the string around. Let's see. Yeah, I definitely like the darker one. Okay. Oh, and this panel on the front was 3 3/4 by 4 3/4. Okay, I like that. So I'm going to secure this on the back. Alright, and I did want to pop this up, and I have Big Mama foam tape, and it's got a very low loft. So it's great to add just a little bit of dimension without being too high. And because the twine is there, you want to skip over that and make like a little channel for it, so that when you stick this down, I don't know if you can see it's going to be flat. This is not going to stick up past this tape. So when you put this to the card base, it won't be like lumpy bumpy, because everything should be even. the backs off, and I like to use a vinyl weeding tool for that. Sometimes it works amazing, and other times, depending on the weather, it is a little tougher, but I find it really helps. Ah, there goes the water bottle. Since I want to get it on the edge, I'm going to try and see if I can do this. Use my score buddy to help me out. Okay. For some of them, I'm going to use the foam squares, and I have the thin ones, so again, it won't be sticking up too much, but then we can have room to stick things underneath. Alright, I think we have done it. I'm not the greatest at the flower arranging, so it kind of takes me a little while to do it. Let's see, I think I could use a little sparkle, perhaps. A little bit of shimmer on there. Alright, so now we need to decide about the sentiment. Let me see if I can pull out some stamps that might fit this well. Okay, I got out my mini Misty. I'm going to heat emboss the sentiment for the front. And this one is from the Blooming Sunflower from Gina K Designs. And I was going to do the birthday wishes. Alright, so when you're heat embossing, there are a couple things that you need to do. So first thing we need to do is we need to use our anti-static powder tool. You put that on the paper and it gets rid of any static, any oils, anything like that that would make your powder not stick to exactly where you want it to be. Then you need a clear sticky ink. This one's from Simon Says Stamp. And you just put it on. I like to do it a couple times just to make sure I have good coverage. And then you get your powder out. This one I'm using is the Ultrafine Gold from Simon. Put the powder on. And then you can take a peek and see how well the coverage is, and you can always put a little bit more on if you need to. And then if you have any little tiny pieces that aren't in the right spot, like I have like a little hair kind of thing right here, you just take a teeny tiny brush and just brush it off. Okay, that looks good. And then you funnel that back in. Put the lid on. And then you need a heat tool. And you want to let it warm up for a second before you put it to the paper. And you can see inside it'll start getting red because it's getting very hot. And you can see there that it's all melted and shiny and lovely. Alright, I'm just going to wipe this with a Swiffer cloth just in case the powder got anywhere. Alright, so I am going to cut this out with the matching die, and I'm going to cut a couple extra layers out of the Desert Storm just so we can put behind for a little bit of dimension on that without having to put the foam tape and all that on there. And I'll be right back. Okay, I glued together 3 layers of the Desert Storm, and now what I'm trying to do is just figure out where that is going to overlap so we can try to have it even, because this is raised up 3 layers. So if we cut it about here, right, and then we can glue it, and then this we can glue onto here, so then it should be even across. So let's just glue that. I think I'm going to kind of offset it too to give a little drop shadow. So now this is what this looks like. So when you put it on, it'll all be even across. Time for a refill. and we can nestle that right in there. That looks great. Let me get a block for that. I think we need some bling. Let me go find some. Alright, I have these new, let me get you what it exactly is, gold Pawsitively dazzling gems. And they are gorgeous, and I think that they will go very well with these fall colors, because these look a little more, they're kind of champagne-y. My cat is snoring, if you can hear that. Okay, and let's see. Hopefully we can get out enough glue to finish this card up. Alright, we were successful with the glue. I'm gonna refill that. Alright. I love this little tray. It's from Pink Fresh, and it just funnels right in there so nicely. Okay. So here we have our beautiful card. I think this turned out great. And it was so much fun to cut the die cuts out of the patterned paper, which I don't do very often. And then we just added a little ink on the edges to give some depth on that. Added some sparkle pen for the middle of the flowers. There were beautiful gems on there. I can hold it up. And they're a lot lighter actually than what is showing on the screen. And we have our birthday wishes and our twine. So just, it's a great fall kind of country vintage vibe going on. Anyway, so I will link everything that I used today, and I will put that in the description box. I do have affiliate links, which means if you click on them and end up making a purchase, I might earn a small commission from that, and that really helps out me and my channel, and I greatly appreciate you shopping through my links. Like, subscribe, and all that jazz. And join me over on Facebook. I have a lot of crafty sales that I post over there. Just some general information, cards, videos, all that kind of a thing. So anyway, thank you, and until next time, take care. Alright, I thought I'd give you a little bit of bonus footage as to how I decorated the inside of my card. So I'm going to use the Cabernet, and I'm still using the Blooming Sunflower set from Gina K. And the person that this card is for loves sunflowers. So I thought it would be good to carry this from the outside to the inside of the card. Oh, it's such a pretty stamp. And I think because I don't want it to be crazy dark, I'm only going to go with the one stamping because everything came out very well. Okay. I'll clean that up in a second. So we have this beautiful stamp. And so I'll write out my message and then I'll put it inside here with my tape runner. So that will be a nice carryover from the front. And then I'm also going to be decorating a envelope. So stay tuned for that. Alright, I made this A2 envelope on my 123 punch board, and I can link over to another video that I had already made on how to do that in case you're interested. But I have these new washi sheets from Brutus Monroe, and I thought it would be really fun to decorate the envelope with that. And there is one that is a sunflower on the bottom here. Trying to think how I want to put this on without cutting too much of the sunflower off. Okay. Going to burnish this on, and then when I use washi tape kind of things on a envelope, I tuck it in, and this side was a little long, so you can just cut that off. Okay. So now that that is on, I will put the adhesive for the flap. Okay, so it's ready to go. That looks so beautiful. Okay, so and then another thing I did is I took a piece of the paper that we had die cut from, and I embossed it with the honeybee burlap embossing folder. And this gives a little bit of a cushion for the card. And especially because there's gems on it and there's, you know, all this dimension. So what I like to do is I put that over the front. So then when it's in the envelope, there's no lumpy bumpies, nothing sticking out, and it gives a lot of protection to the card front. Let me just see. So we had all that dimension from the flowers, but it still will fit through the post office guide. So what that means is that you can still send this as a card. You don't need to send it as a package. It is not flexible enough to go through the machine. So what you would need to do is put a non-machinable stamp on here, and that's the one with the butterfly. And then judging by the weight of this, and I will weigh it before I send it out, you probably need an extra ounce stamp as well. And those are like a little rabbit or a school bus stamp. So anyway, so everything is all done together, I'll put my card all together and get it mailed out. So that's everything. Have a great day.